Hello again. In this video, we're going to continue building our three-dimensional first-person game. So I'm just going to remind you what we did. We created our superhero, some enemies, and when the forever button is toggled, the enemy is moving, and I have the ability to move the superhero character I created. Okay, but right now what we don't have is any kind of a behavior when a collision occurs between the hero and the enemy. So we're going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the enemy code, and I'm going to now go to detection blocks, and it says on collision with, so on collision with turtle, which is our superhero, what we would like to do is let's increment the scoreboard here. As you notice, there is by default a scoreboard. So let's actually learn how to increment the scoreboard. So on collision with turtle, what we would like to do is let's go to interface, and one of these options should be set data box. So set score data box to, and we're going to need to do a little bit of math here. So let's have it to be what it was before plus 1. Okay, so let's do a little bit of math here. So we're going to have it become what it was before plus 1, which, by the way, means we better initialize the scoreboard. Every time you start the game again, it should be initialized to 0. Okay, so we are incrementing the scoreboard, and as soon as you have done that, you can actually delete the agent that collided with the superhero. Okay. So now we have the collision behaviors defined, and let's go to the world, and let's make sure that while we are as soon as we create the world, we set the score data box to 0. So this is how it should be initially. Okay, so run the code, set up, and observe right here the scoreboard is right now showing 0. And when we press forever, the characters are moving. As I interact with the enemy, observe the collisions are incrementing the scoreboard, and the enemy is disappearing as I do the collision. Okay. So it's doing that. To see the effects better, you may want to increase the enemy size to, I don't know, something like 100, so that there is much more of these urchins floating around forever. Let's move forward, down. Let's try to aim for these guys. By the way, to have the code written is one thing. To be good at the game that you created is another thing. I sometimes create pretty good games, but I'm horrible actually playing them. So those are two different skill sets, so don't worry about it. All right, now one other thing that I want to show you is sometimes people like to create a sound. When you do a collision, you want to create a sound for your as soon as the collision occurs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a play sound option here. So I'm going to grab this play sound. So first you have to record the sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the sound, and when you press record, it's going to ask you a couple. There's going to be an interaction space right here. It's going to ask you to record. So I'm going to create some kind of a collision sound. And by the way, observe, this is asking you to allow access. It is safe. Allow the access. Okay. Allow the access. I'm gonna select the part of this. The first part was, remember, me talking, so that got recorded also. So I'm just gonna select this region and let's play that part. Oops, let's start right here. Okay, I'm gonna start this process again. As you see, it recorded my speaking to you, so that wasn't too pleasant. Let's try it again. Record. By the way, I'm making that sound, but you could also take sounds from the internet or from your cell phone, etc. Okay, so now I select the region. I don't need all of that, but this way, let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to call this collision sound. Okay, so now what you could do is you could select the collision sound. So what you could do is you could play the sound, the collision sound, increment the scoreboard, and then delete the enemy. So all these things are going to happen one after the other. So let's see what's going to happen. So setup, forever. So my character. And by the way, I have to warn you, this could be a little bit of annoying for other people. So you may want to lower the volume, or so as I'm interacting, as I'm hitting the enemy and I'm causing them to be deleted, this horrible sound is being created. But you could choose some cool laser sounds or some other sounds that you choose. Okay. Alrighty, so here's a very, very simple first-person game. I am sure you could be very creative, what kind of shapes that you're creating. You could have variety of enemy types, you could have variety of sounds, variety of sizes, shapes, colors, etc. But here is some very basics of how to create a first-person game in StarLogo Nova. In a future video, I would love to explain to you how you can actually have your character shoot projectiles. So that could be an interesting variation to the game you're creating, where collision with the projectiles that the superhero is shooting is what deletes the enemy. I hope you have a good time. Take care.